Hello, my name's Dave and welcome to the corner of my living room. I thought it'd be cool to record some sessions over the coming weeks which you can follow based on the spiritual disciplines. Practicing spiritual disciplines can really help us to deepen our faith and grow in our relationship with God, despite not having the personalities of our youth leaders or the big events that we often go to, but by instead relying on a direct, disciplined relationship with God. And this is really important in the current scenario in which we find ourselves. I want to give a shout out to Martin Saunders, who wrote the book The Beautiful Disciplines, which this material is based on. If you're a youth leader, I definitely recommend that you buy this book. You can find it on the youthscape.co.uk website, and Martin is the Director of Innovation and the Deputy CEO at Youthscape. Look at their website. They've got some great resources, a great shop, they've got a podcast and links to their National Youth Ministry Weekend, which I would really recommend. And also another couple of books that I've read, which Martin has written, include Youth Work from Scratch and also The Man You're Made to Be. So I think you should definitely check those out when you have an opportune moment. Each of these sessions will involve some kind of introduction to the discipline we're looking at, such as prayer, Bible study, solitude, or fasting, for example. The sessions are practical. You're going to actually try the discipline out. So after I've given you the instruction, hit pause when the screen appears like this. I'll tell you at the start of each video what materials you will need. For this session, you will need a piece of paper or a notebook and a pen. The whole point of the disciplines is actually putting them into practice, not just learning about them. So I'd encourage you to participate and build them into your daily routine. Take a moment to reflect and pause as you think about the following questions. How disciplined are you? Our personal self-discipline is also a spiritual matter. The Bible says, like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who lacks self-control. If you think of old towns and cities, their walls were their defence against attack. Without them, they were vulnerable. And it's similar for us if we lack self-control. Galatians 5 tells us the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness and faithfulness, gentleness and self-control. Self-control and discipline are important if we are going to attempt to connect with God regularly. This introductory session is all about exploring the ancient Christian tradition of spiritual disciplines. They were famously practiced by saints and heroes of the faith, men and women who were instrumental in the development of Christianity, from a group of rebels and radicals into a global religion followed by billions. They have their root in the Bible and in the example of Jesus himself. So let's read Luke chapter 5 verses 12 to 16 and then pause to reflect on the questions.
Jesus heals a man with leprosy. While Jesus was in one of the towns, a man came along who was covered with leprosy. When he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. "I am willing," he said, "be clean." And immediately the leprosy left him. Then Jesus ordered him, "Don't tell anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer the sacrifices that Moses commanded for your cleansing as a testimony to them." Yet the news about him spread all the more, so that the crowds of people came to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed.
Jesus himself practiced spiritual disciplines. One example is verse 16, where it says Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Jesus has withdrawn to a place of solitude and is spending time alone with God. In the same way, the spiritual disciplines are designed to provide an opportunity for God to work in our lives. They're not a magic formula, but just a way of making space and time to connect with God. On the screen is a list of some of the spiritual disciplines we will cover in these sessions, and some very brief definitions in case you're unsure. Write the list of disciplines down one side of your A4 paper and write down the absolute opposite of this discipline. For example, the opposite of fasting could be 24 hours of non-stop gluttony. Hit pause and write your list of opposites. Looking at your list, ask yourself, does your life right now look more like the original list or the new one? Which do you think would be a better template for living? Below the video there should be a link where you can download a discipleship audit from a Google Drive. It's a simple tool you can use to help you understand your own relationship with God and your engagement with the spiritual disciplines. Take some time to fill it in, keep it safe, and look back at it at the end of the course. Keep an eye out for the next session where we'll be exploring and practicing different ways of praying. In the meantime, hit up the comments if you'd like to share your thoughts and interact with others. Take care and see you soon.